Ever get that, like, totally bizarre feeling? You dream about a character, like, right out of a cartoon or an anime, but you've never even seen the show before.
Yeah.
And then, like, bam, you stumble across it, and it's like, whoa, instant deja vu.
It's really something.
It is. So that's what we're going to, like, really try to unpack today. We're deep diving into, like, what could actually be going on in those moments.
All right.
Using, some pretty cool ideas that we found.
Interesting.
We'll be looking at it, from kind of two sides. Okay. First off, like the psychology behind it all.
Okay.
And then also maybe a slightly less scientific point of view.
More of a mystical angle.
Exactly. Yeah, like a really deeply resonant kind of perspective.
I like it.
So, okay, let's start with the psychology stuff.
All right.
So basically, the idea is that our subconscious is working overtime, right?
Instantly, yeah.
Like it's this massive sponge soaking up all these little details. The sources suggest it could be like a super quick flash of a certain art style or like even just a snippet of music.
Interesting.
And our brains just kind of file it away without us even knowing.
Subliminal almost.
Totally. And then later on, maybe while we're dreaming, that tiny little piece, it like resurfaces.
Okay.
And when we see the actual show and boom, that feeling of recognition hits us.
It's incredible how much our brain processes without us realizing it, right?
It's mind-blowing. Like, think about it. Every single day, our brains are bombarded with just tons of information.
Absolutely.
Even the stuff we don't pay attention to, it can still leave
a trace.
Yes, a trace. And then when we sleep, that's when things get really interesting.
How so?
Well, that's when our brains are like sorting through everything, consolidating memories, making new connections. And sometimes these little bits of information, they can combine in like the most unexpected ways.
Interesting.
Leading to that weird, familiar feeling, even though we've never actually seen this show before.
Yeah. Fascinating. So it's like our brains are creating a story from these random fragments.
Right. And speaking of stories, that brings us to this other cool angle.
I'm listening.
Archetypes. Have you heard of that?
Of course. Those recurring patterns in storytelling.
Yes, exactly. So like certain characters,
The hero, the villain, the mentor.
Yeah, those classic types. And then like those core conflicts or storylines.
The underdog story, the quest for redemption.
Exactly. They pop up over and over again in stories across different cultures.
It's like there's this universal language of storytelling.
Totally. So maybe the character you dreamt about, even if it's from a show you've never seen, maybe they just embody these really fundamental human patterns.
Interesting.
And that's why it feels familiar. It's like we're tapping into something deep within it.
I can see that. Like we're wired to recognize these archetypes.
Exactly. It's like they resonate with something primal.
And that resonance could be the key to that feeling of pre-recognition in dreams.
Okay, now let's like shift gears a little bit.
We're going to explore some interpretations that are, well, a bit more out there.
The mystical side.
Yeah, like the sources mention past lives and this idea of a collective unconscious.
Like a shared pool of human experience.
Right, or even like a spiritual connection to the story itself.
Fascinating concept.
It is. And what's really interesting is that feeling people describe when they watch something for the first time.
Like they're remembering it, not experiencing it for the first time.
Exactly. And that intensity, it can make people explore those deeper explanations.
It definitely pushes the boundaries of our understanding of consciousness.
For sure. So whether it's our brains making these crazy subconscious connections or something tapping into like these universal story patterns.
Right.
These types of dreams really show us how much stories and our inner world shape how we see things.
Absolutely. It's a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of everything.
Have you ever like had a similar experience?
Oh, yeah. Tons of times, especially with books.
Yeah. Sometimes I start a new book and I swear I've read it.
It's so strange.
It is, but it's also kind of
I agree. So to wrap things up, this feeling of dreaming about a character before you know them, it could be our subconscious mind picking up on things we don't even notice. Or it could be that the character's story just fits into these fundamental human patterns.
Right.
And then, of course, there's that whole other layer of potential explanations.
More mystical interpretations.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that suggest deeper, less understood connections.
It's all very intriguing.
It is, and it really highlights the powerful, often mysterious relationship between our inner world and the stories that capture our.
Beautiful.
So here's a final thought with.
Okay.
Considering how deeply stories can like seep into our subconscious, what other seemingly random thoughts or feelings or even preferences might have surprisingly deep and unexpected origins?
It really makes you wonder.
It does, doesn't it? What else is going on beneath the surface?
That's the big question.
It sure is.
A great place to end our deep dive, I'd say.
I think so too.
Until next time.
See ya!
Bye.